Okay, we're back.
Ew.
Hey,
Yeah, so we were talking about worst drinks or most disappointing drinks.
Yes,
No.
something like that.
Uh,
And Brixton's was Anish.
and
Anish.
Like
Anish.
anus, but with an eye.
Okay,
It's
huh?
rancid.
Yeah, I mean
But
from
you
the
guys know what I'm talking about, right?
no, not at all.
Oh, come on. It's anise. A-N-I-S. Just fucking type it in and say drinks with anise.
I mean it's a football player, but
I'm not drinking football players. What are you
Are you
talking
sure about
about?
that? I'm pretty sure you would be with all the gay sex you were talking about before we started streaming.
Okay,
What?
I don't want to smear you live on the internet, but remember when I went treasure hunting and I found this
Yes.
and I found this treasure. Yo ho, drink up me Hearties, yo ho.
Yeah, call it that.
Uh,
Whatever.
we'll drop the subject.
Woo! Whew, that was a close one.
I'm so
No,
confused.
seriously, for the viewers at home, it is strong liquor. If there's a drink that I would detest, it must be strong liquor. I'm not a strong liquor man.
So it's Anis Mono Dulce. Like I'll share it.
Oh,
This one. It's this kind of shit, is it?
Oh, I should mention
Yeah,
none of
no,
what your like
You-
screen sharing is making it through on the stream.
Oh. Wow.
if you have it in your mouth,
I thought you were showing.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't come up, but
Fair enough. It's a bottle. It's got like a red circle around it and like a weird person, I think.
Yeah, the most famous drink that I know that has anise is Ricard. Just Ricard.
Yeah. I am also a retard.
No, Ricard.
Haha, ooh.
yeah.
Gotcha. Haha! No.
Yeah, we like to have fun here.
Oh. No, but yeah.
You don't have to be drunk to live here, but it helps.
It sure does.
I didn't get you guys' least favorite drinks because, as I said, I was doing something. So,
Toby's the
go.
only one who didn't mention this yet. Go on, Toby.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So a buddy of mine made me an old fashioned once, and
Oh.
that shit was just so disappointing. Like, because on the outside, it seems like it should be a really good drink. Like, it's got whiskey, great, some orange zest and bitters. Honestly, great. Some sugar as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sign me up. But I don't know. Then you add the ice cube, the ice stuff to it, and
Big fat ice cube, yeah.
yeah, like all I could taste was just watered down whiskey. Honestly,
Yeah.
not a great experience.
That's some people fuck it up a bit, sorry. Don't know who made you this. Do I know the person?
Yeah. I don't want to call him out.
No, maybe not. Message
Let's
me
just
later.
yeah, let's call him Kevin just for the sake
Yeah,
of it.
Kevin.
We do know a Kevin.
We do. It wasn't Kevin.
bit-
Kevin though.
Oh, that's. I figured not because, like, if he made that, I would be very impressed.
Also-
I mean, right?
Also, we're kind of calling out Kevin now, but
Oh yeah. But you know,
Yeah, heads up
We
to the
like
Kevin
Kevin.
crew. Yeah.
yeah.
Ladies
But
and gentlemen, this is your Kevin
Um,
speaking.
no.
Right,
But yeah, Jacob. Also, you know this that I mean, I basically think it's a death sin to put ice in your whiskey.
Oh yeah.
It's just not good. Don't do it.
I disagree. If you're drinking bourbon, if you're not drinking bourbon, fuck off for that ice. Mess me with that shit. Ugh.
What
Uh,
bourbon?
yeah, bourbon. Aye.
Bourbon. Okay.
Yes, bourbon.
Bourbon.
Yes. Yes, you know, you drink a bourbon in your garage.
Philistine calling it bourbon. That's like calling a Schweppes a Schweppes.
Okay.
You're a little pipsqueak when you laugh. You know that?
Yeah,
I know.
it
I've
really
become
is.
like that. I've become lately. I've started like, and then it's like, then it's out of the way.
You sound like a chew toy. I never noticed. I fucking never noticed that.
No, but I haven't. Like, it's a very new thing. Like, I have a bunch of different ways to laugh for some reason. I really I don't choose it. And then like for some reason lately I've just been more happy and more accepting of life being what it is, a shit show, and it's okay, it's cool. And then like since I've been doing like more of that, it's like like everything's just more mellow and decent. I'm just like whenever something weird happens, I'm like, and then I move on.
Absolutely. So Toby, you said that whiskey.
Hey,
You're a whiskey drinker, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, but
well,
are you we I make a distinct difference between somebody that actually knows their whiskey or somebody that just appreciates whiskey. For me, I'm not a wine connoisseur. I don't know my wines, but I appreciate a good wine. So I'm not arrogant enough to say that I know a lot about wine because I don't. I just know I like this wine and this wine I do not. So
Hmm.
what's the story with you?
Well, basically, my uncle got really into whiskey, like kind of out of the blue,
Mm,
a couple years
okay.
back. So, we began tasting some of his stuck when we went down there, and yeah. So, I mean, he knows a lot about this stuff, and I mean, usually I just drink whatever he serves because that's some pretty good shit. He's
yeah,
All
also
right.
the one that told me that whiskey actually in 2021 was the fastest growing investment you could make. Um,
that makes sense. That makes sense. I could see that being true.
yeah.
Did you know
It only.
yeah, but and as in right now, the only agricultural sector that will make you a decent revenue is vineyards. Like
Huh.
it's the only thing that you can grow on land, so it's not food, but wine. If you're a farm, if you decide to be a farmer in 2023,
Mm,
the only option you have to actually get somewhere is to be a wine farmer
Huh.
because the
fair.
food in yeah.
I want to go back to whiskey though. Fun fact, guys. I've been learning Gaelic, as we all know. Of course we do.
Huh?
I've been learning Gaelic, as we all
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Aye.
Gay what?
Whiskey. Oh, fucking. I'll come to Belgium and kick your ass right now. Listen here, son.
You're learning to lick gays. I've been
We all
learning.
gotta have a hobby, right?
I've been Gaelic. No, but
No,
please do.
the English word for whiskey, or any word for whiskey, is actually from the Gaelic word for water, uisce. And the actual word for whiskey in Scottish Gaelic is uisce which is like whiskey of life, like water of life.
If you master the language, are you a Gaelicer?
I'm not even gonna answer that.
No, but
I don't want to, I don't know, poop on your story here, but
Yeah.
you did tell that 2 weeks ago as well.
Oh yeah, but he was not here then.
oh
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. So I'm actually happy I know that about the whole Gaelicing.
I'm not happy you know it anymore. I'm gonna take it right back. You haven't heard a thing, okay? I
No,
actually
the
just
thing is,
started learning Gaelic at your wedding, mate. Well, no, you at your wedding, but the day after your wedding.
okay. Does
What a great way to
True.
say
does
your
it
wedding was so boring. I began learning a new language.
A language that everyone hates as well.
but does a good whiskey need to be from Scotland? Is like is does a good wine come from France, for example? Does a good whiskey come from Scotland, or is there a country? Because my personal favorite wine country is Bulgaria. It's not France. It's
Hmm.
Bulgaria.
Yeah,
I
So
really
what is a good
I like
high end.
the U.S. For wine
the
actually,
yeah
like
Yeah,
Zinfandel,
they got some
top
like
tier,
Zinfandel's actually
really
pretty
great
good.
what
Yeah,
wine.
the
honestly,
southern states or the south
like
or
that.
the actual United
Yeah,
States?
yeah. No,
Zinfandel
California,
is
like
California. Yeah.
Because I like Chile, for example. Chile is a good country for
also
wine.
good. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so like, dude, you
But
can't just bring in
does
chilies.
Yeah, but as I said, you wouldn't expect Bulgaria to be such a good wine country. Do you have a country like that for whiskey, for example? They say they actually make really good whiskey in that country, and no one saw it coming.
I think like but this is not it's not really much of a like surprise. But I'd say Japan actually has some
What?
really interesting whiskey.
Oh,
What a
Yeah.
surprise!
What is it? Oh, oh, oh. Ching chang
Okay,
to the
so
eye.
Japan. I actually didn't know that. I actually didn't know that. Toby, what
No,
about
yeah,
you? You
they
got
actually
another
have
one
a
of those?
fair
yeah.
amount of.
I mean, I was on vacation with my family in Croatia a couple of years ago, and my dad and I bought a bottle of. It's not technically whiskey, but that kind of whiskey bourbon there in between. It's the same
Blend
thing,
Whiskey
but they
beer.
can't call it the thing because it's not from that specific region.
the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, but
I
we
mean,
bought a bottle of that.
yeah,
That was honestly really great. That was made
interesting.
with truffles, which was really
See,
interesting.
that's a really interesting take right
Yeah.
there.
I like truffles. I like
You
truffles.
fucking do, don't you?
I like the taste. Yeah.
Dude, this guy is on truffles like I'm on cocaine.
No, you're talking about magic. You're talking about magic truffles from the Netherlands. I'm talking about actual truffles.
No, I am talking about actual truffles because I know you do love actual, like, you just love mushrooms, not
That's
the magical
true.
kind. Yeah.
Kind of a yeah. They do in the Czech Republic. They do the mushroom pick. I want to do that once in my life. Just the big mushroom pick. Gather up my mushrooms, get food poisoning, be on the toilet for 3 days, and then do it again.
Woo! You know what? If you're ever gonna do that, I want to come with. That sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
won't
honestly,
do
that
it
does
sober
sound
though.
great.
Yeah,
I love
that's an
mushrooms.
adventure.
That's great.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
learned to love it.
yeah.
I love it even more after they became hallucinatory.
Japanese whiskey.
They're
I mean, I knew the Japanese have what is typical. Oh,
Sake?
yeah, sake. But I thought sake they also have it in Chinese restaurants, right? That's is it a
Yeah. Yeah, but it is a Japanese drink. I'm pretty sure.
it's typically Japanese, right? All right, sake, hot or cold?
Never tried it hot.
huh?
Oh yeah, it's a thing sometimes. People are like sake should be served hot,
Yeah,
I
sake
like
mean,
is
slightly
hot.
above room temperature. Or
I've
something.
never had sake, so
Ah,
I
I never
couldn't tell.
tried
It
it.
is sake is pretty good.
Yeah,
It's pretty much just like white wine, but with a more of like a bite to it.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
it is
it is
pretty good.
called rice wine as well,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
makes sense.
but yeah, but it's a burning sensation as well. It's quite nice. But those yeah, that's the thing. Those are the type of strong liquors that I will drink. It's like sake because it's more of a cultural thing. Elixir, I love elixir for one because it's also it used to be a medicine here in
No,
my area.
that makes
If
sense.
if you have a problem with your stomach, your head, your fucking ears, everybody was using elixir.
It's
Like
like cigarettes back in the day.
Yeah.
mommy, I can't
Oh,
sleep.
cocaine.
Oop, elixir.
Jesus. Yeah, no, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. By the way, I don't know what you're thinking, Toby, but I'm thinking maybe we make this one like a 15, 30 minutes longer if you guys okay with it, since Bixen's here as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, since there's a guest
I'm
on.
down for it.
What do you mean longer? Do you run out of things after half an hour to talk about, or what's going
No,
on?
we usually
No,
cut
it's,
it around the hour mark.
yeah. But now that you're here, we could talk all night long.
That's fine. I have one anecdote about drinking that I want to share with you guys.
Hmm.
When I'm drunk,
Yeah.
I said when I was younger, if I was drunk, I succeeded in kissing girls that were way more beautiful than the type of girls that I normally kissed.
Yes.
I had this way of just bullshitting my tongue into their mouth.
It's
It
called
was
rape, man. Yeah, we're not cool with that, by the way.
no, yeah, but the thing was I was really drunk and I was being all smooth and this and that because
Hey.
does drinking give you courage? Yes, because as you can remember, Geneva, they called it the Dutch courage.
Aye.
The English called it the Dutch courage. They actually in the Napoleon era, especially when they did line infantry warfare, the soldiers were piss drunk.
Oh yeah.
They would. Can you imagine just walking towards guys that want to shoot you in a straight line and you can't duck because you have to keep formation. Try and
Yeah.
convince somebody to do that if they're not drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like
Makes
a good
sense.
time to me.
Yeah.
So they actually say that it's the more evolved people that have an affinity with alcohol because the monkeys that evolved sooner than other monkeys ate rotten fruit because they wanted to
Fermented
get the
apples,
high because they wanted to get the high from alcohol. But I think that article was mainly written by alcoholics.
yeah.
So
Most likely.
yeah,
Mhm.
I always wondered what is the first what is the first phase of humanity where they actually distilled alcohol? Like
Well,
how
good
they
question. I mean, I know that in the Viking era you had to have alcohol because you couldn't drink water.
Yeah, same as in here. We had to drink beer because the water was rancid. It was a
Yeah.
purifying process.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
I mean,
I don't know how
I
long we did that for.
I think like it's been a thing, like,
A
making
long
alcohol.
time.
I mean, it's as old as human civilization,
Right?
and before civilization, at least, I think there would
Yeah, I
be
mean,
some
it
form
seems
of.
like alcohol came before us in some way, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it
they
did.
were fermented apples before
Uh,
there was humanity, I'm
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
and I mean, it's not only humans or primates who do it. Like birds will eat fermented berries in the fall as well. For
Oh
example.
yeah. I
Yeah,
have
and
seen a
then
couple of birds that just like drop from fucking branches because they're piss
yeah,
drunk.
yeah. So they load themselves up with fermented berries and then they go to the beach.
Exactly.
That's practically what the bird. So all right, guys, we're off to the south.
Let's go get some chicos and then, like fucking drop their tank tops and
Right. Well, if it's yeah, but if it's because I actually read into there's this one thing that I never got the whys and the hows and just the idea of it, prohibition,
yeah.
like
No, that's a failed attempt.
the one they
Like
had in the state, but a failed attempt to what? What was the
to
angle here?
what they were trying to do was to limit the dangers and the negative influence of alcohol in the society by completely removing it. Which of
Yeah,
course didn't work because people just became even more pissed drunk because now it's illegal, which makes it even more fun.
yeah,
Uh,
the alcohol usage just before prohibition was extremely problematic, though. That
oh
was
yeah, yeah,
true.
yeah. But
Uh,
it became even worse during.
yeah,
Like it was
yeah.
much like anything that has ever been legal and then was illegalized has just been misused so much more after it was
Yeah.
legalized.
Now in Belgium it's better, but the alcohol use here in the '90s was pretty. It was pretty hard.
Aye.
Yeah, I remember there was this whole thing about the Belgian drinking culture. We were going completely off the charts, and since the 2000s it kind of died down. Does it have a sort of collective trail in Denmark as well that the country drinks more in certain periods of time throughout the years?
I
Toby?
Absolutely.
think so, yeah.
I feel like definitely, at least here in Denmark, the story goes that Danish youths has this reputation in Czechia, for example, of just going there to get hammered and do stupid shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what we do.
and but yeah, and a lot of like media and stuff will say that the drinking culture in Denmark is really problematic, especially
Yeah.
with young people. But the thing
Yeah.
is, it's like young people, teens, Gen Z and stuff, have actually moved away from that. They're drinking less, and it's
Yeah.
actually like
Yeah.
middle-aged men, especially,
Soon to
who
be
have
me.
drinking
Well,
problems here in Denmark.
yeah, but
True.
I'm a millennial. I'm 32 now, so I'm the millennial generation. I'm just a bit older than Gen X, but
Mm.
my generation when we were young, we were the last heavy drinking generation.
Hmm.
The ones that came after us, Gen Z for example, they do drink a lot less than we did. Also,
Have I?
we tended to drink on playgrounds, we drink in gardens, we drink in bedrooms of somebody's house. The bars were full of much younger kids.
Aye.
Mm.
Have I told you what they do in Scotland? Because in Scotland you cannot buy alcohol in a store after 10 o'clock.
That is so weird.
It is illegal. All the alcohol sections will be closed down in any shop in Scotland after 10.
That
Uh,
sucks.
yeah,
In
it really
Germany,
does. Like, but that's
in Ger-
because apparently a lot of people were like, then they got drunk and then they got pretty pissed, and then they'd go over to the store to get more, and then they drink themselves dead, pretty much. After that, which they expected won't happen in the pub because it costs more. Fuck me if that's true, and there's a bartender there to like protect you. Not a
Re-
chance. Like as I said, like me and my mate Tom, when we were walking home one time, we saw that guy who called him a wee lad, and realized he was a pretty big man. Uh, there's nothing like that actually works, and I don't think there's any attempt in history where it has been proven that could work.
Crippled Dad told me a story about Ireland. He used to work there when he was in the meat industry, and he was staying there in a village, and there was always a shuttle bus coming to pick up the workers of the meat plant. The meat plant was practically the only thing that they have in that area that employed a lot of people. That was, if you're from that village, 80% out of 100 you'll be working in the meat plant later on in life. It's the same like
Hey,
we have the car factory in Ostcom. That's a bit the same thing. But anyway, every morning, or at least multiple days, there were more days when that happened than it didn't happen. In the morning, the dads get up for work. The
mhm.
sons would be in front of the door, sleeping against the door. Multiple houses, multiple days a week. The dads would open the door, just pick up the son, drag him in, and then go into the shuttle bus. You would see it more than you wouldn't see it. It was kind of a ritual thing there. It was crazy.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then you can say, should that village be hit with a prohibition, like straight in the face, like a wet, slippery fish?
Well, because I think that would just make him drink himself to death. Like they would just get all the alcohol they needed beforehand, and then they just like go a little harder on it probably as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
right?
and I think I don't know. It feels weird to me, like making a complete ban.
Yeah.
But I do think that, like here in Denmark, for example, the state pays for our hospital shit,
Mm-hmm.
healthcare.
Yeah, here as well.
Yeah,
We're very
yeah.
socialist.
I mean everywhere, but the U.S. I guess.
Pretty much.
Well, well,
Close
yeah.
to.
Yeah, that's not
If you,
what we need to discuss.
No, no,
yeah,
thank you.
I can explain that system. But all right, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so when the state is paying, I think it's only fair that they have the right to regulate, uh, to some extent, the health of their citizens.
Yeah.
Like, for example, saying, yeah, shops can't sell alcohol past 10 o'clock
Uh,
or something like
no,
that.
no, 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 no. I disagree with that. But you can finish your point, but I already disagree. I'll make this very clear, sir.
I also disagree.
Oh, but yeah,
But
that is my entire point. That
okay,
yeah.
okay. Is your point long, Vixen? Because otherwise I would like to jump in. Because my
No,
point's pretty short.
yeah, my point is short as well. I think
Cool.
instead of they try and eradicate it in the wrong way. Like instead of just prohibiting that the reason that you're in the hospital, they know if you have a poisoned liver or something, they know everything is very registered. Like hospitals know what the causes of your injuries and shit, and if you were drunk, and then you personally, they can say, oh, for that reason you won't get the benefit that normal people have. Don't punish other people that like to get hammered and never wind up in the hospital. That's my take on it. Like that's where the state should interfere and not in the free market side of it. But
Yeah.
please, Jacob.
All I was really thinking was that you said because it's technically paid through the state that they should have a say in it. I was thinking, well, technically, uh, that doesn't give them the right to decide on that because it's not like your mom and dad.
The state doesn't
If
pay it,
it's if
we do. The state
exactly.
uses our money to pay for it.
Yeah, and also like it's not like it's not like one person deciding in the situation. It's like some major authority trying to put down a hardcore rule that will then try and help you. But
The
that
state
can't
doesn't.
happen for every single instance. That's just not true.
Yeah,
It could never be.
the state doesn't pay for shit. The state decides what we spend our money on.
True.
Yeah, I guess but that's semantics. Honestly, it's
Oh yeah. My main point was just like, it's different to your mom and dad paying for your tuition and then be like, no, you have to do this, because then they have actually paid for something. And then I say listen to them. But when it comes to the state paying for your hospital bill, and then them trying to say what you should do to not use that hospital bill, get a hospital bill.
All right, but
It's a bit
but
different
the
to
thing is, I said I would take that approach instead of not allowing stores to sell it.
me.
That's and maybe let's agree to disagree. But
yeah.
Toby, you think because I accept your point, you accept my point as well.
Yeah.
We'll pretend.
Here comes the fucking chew toy again. I
Yeah.
asked Toby.
Yeah, I mean, we can be respectful of each other's points.
Okay, you laughed your way through his sentence. Please, Toby. Say it again.
Sorry,
Say it again.
Yeah, no, I just said, sure, we can be, what's it called? Respectful of each other's points.
Civilized people.
Oh yeah, George Clooney the shit out of that sentence.
Will you try?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my approach is ideal either, because obviously,
Wait. Sorry. You can finish this in 1 second. I just gotta clarify one thing. Did you try to say Sean Connery just before?
Didn't I say Sean Connery?
I'm pretty sure it's George Clooney. Never mind. Go on, Toby.
I mean, obviously, the answer is not regulation.
No, of course not.
I don't know, prohibition. No, that's not the. I mean, to intervene. You stop the problems before they happen.
Aye, so you want to
the
preliminary, preliminarily put a foot in your ass of the person who's fucking up.
Yeah, but not like a punishment. Like you address the underlying problems that causes people to drink too much or something. But I mean, no government is ever gonna, I don't know, post money into that. So.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think state interference in the daily lives of people would increase daily alcohol, but that's
most likely.
That's speculation on my part.
I believe it's true though.
I don't
like.
think
There's a
so.
reason. As a person in the arts, just like you are, Vixen, but hey, whatever. In the arts of acting, that is specifically. We're all people of the arts here.
Yeah.
If you look at practically any, and I do mean any, show, movie, whatever, where they're showing a dystopian society, where there's like a big mother state, mostly all of them are alcoholics if they can be, or druggies or something, and that is not for nothing. I know that is all fiction, but there's a reason why that rings so true.
That is a very broad generalization.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing. I can't specify.
Okay, the Hunger Games.
Without generalization.
Who is an alcoholic in the Hunger Games, for example?
Yeah.
Well, that would be all the rich people.
Yeah, because they benefit from, the state.
Yeah, true. But the Hunger Games are pussy.
And what I'm talking about is a socialist state, which most dystopian movies definitely aren't about.
Well, I mean, at least they try to in The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, for example,
I haven't seen
let's
that,
take one.
so I wouldn't.
Yeah, what is a slightly realistic dystopian state? A Clockwork Orange, for example. That is a more realistic utopia, dystopia. More realistic dystopia. Yeah, and there's also like the opening scene of the movie actually starts with it. There is, I mean, the drugs are practically allowed. They fucking drink LSD in a bar while they're doing it, and there's a lot of alcohol floating around. But also, it's a world where cops can just beat arrestees and stuff like that, and political prisoners are being locked up and shit like that. But there's a big drug like they practically operate on drugs in that dystopia. So, and it's
Aye.
also it's quite a police state as well,
Yeah.
obviously. So
I
Yeah.
mean, what I would like to say is,
Mm-hmm.
you say you think in a state with more government control, people would drink more.
If it
Uh,
becomes a dystopian amount of it, yeah.
I would
we'll
agree with
drink.
that if that government is right leaning, but in a socialist state, say where
Oof.
everybody has no, okay,
Yeah.
No,
hear
no,
me
but
out, hear me
this
No,
is
out.
no,
so socialized, socialism as it's
no,
meant
no,
to
no, no.
be
Let him
is what we're
finish.
talking. Yeah.
Let him finish his point. Let him finish his
Like
point. Obviously.
if the state provided a universal basic income, for example,
Aye.
like you don't have to worry about where your next paycheck comes from.
No.
That takes out a lot of the people who drink because they're stressed or
Oh
depressed
yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Aye. Aye.
So I don't think it's state control necessarily that causes it, but rather the
No, no, no.
direction of it.
Yeah, but that. Yeah. Well.
The
Yeah, but
idea
that
that
would also be if it works the proper way. I'd say. So then we're getting to where you're talking about.
yeah, but humans can be tenacious little shits, you know. What else? What else do you have? If everything, can you imagine? Okay, do you remember that Simpsons episode where I'm just gonna use that Simpsons episode because I'm actually doing two things at a time and I don't want to spend a lot of brain cells on this. But at some point, Homer works for Hank Scorpio, the Bond
Aye.
villain,
Sure.
and they move into this very nice neighborhood, and
Aye.
everything is taken care of for Marge. She doesn't need to do anything. She has no worries. Like everything's paid for. Nice house. She wants to work. She can. It's not necessary. There's no purpose because everything is taken care of automatically. What is
She's
the thing
missing
she
some
does?
purpose. She
Yeah,
starts drinking.
and she starts drinking. There we go.
Same as in Back to the Future.
Yeah, the problem with the providing is that you rob people of a
Purpose.
purpose and what do you call it? Voldoening,
Goal.
satisfaction, the
Oh.
satisfaction of achievement. Yes,
Ah.
you rob people of achievement,
That's
and that
true.
has a yes. So
Yeah,
that
I
yeah, so
don't.
that can counter your providing government argument a little bit, although this is purely speculation on
Yeah,
my
yeah,
part,
sure.
since I used the Simpsons episode
But also
as an
I don't
example.
agree with that because just because you get a paycheck, monthly paycheck from the state doesn't mean you stop working. Just means you don't work for money. You work for the satisfaction of it. You work on more like interpersonal stuff, like help each other out, gardening,
Mm.
taking care of the elderly. I don't know, shit.
Giving
Fixing
your
the
best
road
friend a
in your
blowjob.
town. I mean, if that's whatever floats your boat.
Taking care
Hey,
of the
Toby, what are you doing
elderly.
tonight? No.
Dude, the thing is, I'm very low sensitive. And also what would be labeled as nice and good work just doesn't make any sense to me. Like taking care of
Mm,
the elderly would make me drink more. Those guys are annoying.
yeah. Well, okay. So,
The
question.
stories go on forever.
True.
But hey, all right. So we
Right.
continue. But all right.
Now I have a thing,
Yeah.
because this is something I have a weird image issue. Um, and now I want I want the two of you to be my psychologist pretty much, because that's cheaper. Uh,
All right.
no, so like I have an image thing where I've been stone dead fucking cold sober for a while, some time ago. It was fine and blah blah blah. I didn't hate it nearly as much as Bixen does.
God, I hate it.
but um but I do have a thing where like if I'm not doing something wrong, you know, like either I'm drinking or doing illicit drugs, um, I don't really feel like I'm me. Not because like doing the substance makes me me, but like the fact that I know that I'm doing stuff I'm not supposed to makes it feel more like I'm doing me, like I'm being who I'm meant to be. Does that make any sense? Do you guys know what I mean?
Wait, can you rephrase that a little bit
how
because
honest
that's
do you
too
want me to
vague.
be?
Oh, as honest as you like. I don't care.
No,
Because I
but me,
think
what does that
that's messed
what does
up,
that
and
mean?
that's
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's kind of childish in a way, like you're acting out,
Mm.
um,
Oh yeah.
which, and again, I'm not a psychologist, but I would say is definitely,
You
I
surely
would
aren't.
think, would be evidence of like some issues.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, put me in front of a psychologist. I'd go, yeah, this guy's got issues. That wouldn't take him long to figure out. I'd even tell him.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that's a thing I've had for a long time where like it feels like a betrayal of me to not do something that I'm not supposed to do. Not like this is also a main thing though. Not harming anyone, very important. You never
Mm,
harm anyone. Like it has to be more done morally in a way. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I know I'm not meant to do it, but it has to be done with morals very up high. Uh, I can't have to look back at it and go like, oh, I was a bad boy because I did it. I have to be able to look at it and still go like, yeah, I'm a bad boy, but in a kind of a sexy way. uh, yeah. Well,
It's actually a very good point you're making. I'm just
yeah, it's a
trying to
little hard to.
yeah, because I know you have a very clear point you're trying to make, but I just need to personal internalize it a little bit.
Mm.
That it's a betrayal to yourself. You do something that. All right, I'll go with it. Like it's against your nature to walk the line.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah,
Like to be completely
that's
straight walking the line. That feels
yeah,
wrong.
that's what we call the human condition. Well, that's what I call the human condition. Actually, that's because in the most
Mm,
polite societies, let's say Japan, it's an incredibly polite society. All right.
Hey.
Yes, there's always a very big yin, a big yang that counters the yin. Like it's a polite society, but they have the most ruthless crime underground of
Okay.
any nation. Even it was
Yeah.
sent the Mexican MS-13 are fucking schoolboys compared to the Yakuza, and
Uh,
in such a
mm,
polite society, that's the thing. For example, uh, historical bloodthirsty societies that did sacrifices or even cleansing of their own population tended to have a very civilized and polite way of speaking, of socially interacting.
mm, mm.
You never noticed
Very
that?
gentrificated kind of
Yeah,
society.
what was an exceptionally brutal society, for example, was the Roman Empire. That was
Oh yeah.
that was a brutal society,
Yeah,
but
that's a good point.
it was also the height of civilization.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Mm.
And how do we bring this? How do we circle this around to alcohol? I think if
They
alcohol
drank a lot of wine.
yeah, if alcohol is present in a large way in a functioning society, I guess you can't really complain because if alcohol is being shunned or alcohol use is being diminished in a functioning society, I
Mm.
think it will create a bigger yang, as in a bigger underground that will start to seep in society
Yeah,
gradually.
you need to have
mm,
a better balance in like instead of two completely different like polar opposites, you need to find the middle spot
Yeah,
where there's like
yeah.
you know.
So the thing is, like
Mm?
drinking too much for you is not walking the line. Like drinking a lot, that is not walking the line. That is an act of a bit of rebellion. Like I'm not supposed to be this drunk, but I am.
Yeah.
Right. So that's actually very smart because just drinking is not an act of rebellion, but
No.
drinking too much is. That gives you an idea of rebellion. You're not
Mm.
actually breaking any you're not actually breaking any big laws, but it allows you a
Yeah.
bit of rebellion. Wow,
It gives you
that's
that little tingle,
yeah. I
I
want
mean,
So
Toby's perspective on this.
yeah, I wouldn't go as far as saying that drinking too much is smart.
Oh no, no.
But
No,
like
no.
I get the gist of it. I mean, on an extreme level, it's the purge, right? You know, it's a palate
Yeah,
cleanser. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess yeah.
It's the what the purge as in the sort of I always think it's I always think it's a sort of ritual as well to go to that point. You know, people that drink so much they have no more control over their actions. They don't know what they're doing. They
Yeah.
get so drunk. I never reached that point. I've
No.
seen Lawrence at that point already, but
Yes.
there 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 is a point. I've never reached it, but there is a point that you're so far out that you're so far influenced by this substance that you
You lose
don't
yourself.
know. Yes, you
Yeah.
lose yourself. Good way of phrasing that.
Yeah. Like
You
you're
lose
no longer in
yourself.
control now. There's another person behind the wheel, pretty much.
Right. There's a
Like
person
it's
that
that's going Jesus take the wheel, but instead alcohol comes in like I got this.
yeah, there's the person that comes out. There's like a
Yeah.
person that stirs its ugly head. But is that who you are deep down? Or
Ooh.
is that just a warped version of yourself due to unnatural substance intake?
I can I go first?
yeah,
Okay, I think this entire like drinking demon blah 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 shit people sometimes talk about. First of all, I would say yes, it is the truest form of you maybe, but also it isn't you the way you are meant to be if that is not who you're choosing to be, because people choose who they be. Uh, I will say like I think no matter how drunk I've ever been in the last at least 5 years, I think I have not been the I've not lost who I am when I'm sober. I just become a more modeled version of that. Which also proves to me that like my yin and my yang are in complete balance. Uh,
All right.
uh,
Good.
yeah. Well, whereas I think like some people they completely lose it. But that doesn't mean that that is more them just because it is without inhibitions. Sometimes inhibitions are who you are. You are sometimes the lines that you don't want to break. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. In
Yeah.
some way, I always regarded drinking as holding kind of a mirror in front of your face as well. Like if you're
Ah,
really drunk, and you stare at yourself in the bathroom, you're like, dude, you actually
beautiful.
and you realize like, wow, you really drank too much.
Yeah.
All
Get out
right,
of chat.
Toby.
Go
All
on.
right, but we didn't get Toby's intake on this.
No, no, Toby.
yeah. I think it's really interesting also because yeah, it might lean more on like Christian philosophy as well, more than you might think, because there's a Bible word,
What?
Bible verse. No, there's a Bible verse that goes,
Yes.
"The good I want to do, I can't, and the bad I don't want to do, I do," or
Yeah.
something. That's the gist of it,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think that encapsulates it that um, we are imperfect
Yeah.
and we can't be our true selves all the time.
Oh no, absolutely not. We are still animals.
Yeah.
We are animals suffering from a very very unique condition, and that's how do you call it? Awareness.
Yeah.
Snubbity.
Consciousness.
Yeah, consciousness.
Yeah, consciousness. That is to slap
Humanity.
consciousness, yeah, onto I mean, I don't know. I think we're still in the phase of not fucking having figured this out what to do with this.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't. This is also why I like for example why I love whenever someone who's like, yeah, well I'm like whenever someone's talking to me about like mental stuff, like psychology and all that, and they're like, yeah, well, I'm the one taking the blah 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 in psychology. I'm like, yeah, sure, but that's also a very new field. We only just started this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, you got some knowledge, but this is a vast sea with like so many twists and turns that always change depending on which road you go into, like which person you enter. That you can't
Also,
you can't like pinpoint
the
anything really yet.
hey, did I tell you guys the story already for why? people started uh, bumping their glasses together as a sign to say cheers.
No, I don't
No, I
think
don't think
so.
so. Go for it.
It actually comes from the poisoning culture in Europe. You know, we used to drink out of iron
Oh.
tankards,
Right,
and
yeah, yeah.
it was a sign of trust to bang your tankards together, so a bit of your drink would go into his glass and a bit of his tankard would go into
Oh,
your glass. So if you bumped together, you spilled your drinks in each other's glasses as a sign of I'm not going to poison you, you're my bud. They started doing it. They started doing it in higher circles.
Right.
That's where it came from.
that's
Because
really
That's crazy.
interesting.
it was easy. Poison the guy, take his land. That was it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
people had a lot of interest in poisoning
Hmm.
one another,
Yeah.
especially in positions of power.
On the other hand,
And that
like it gets really easy to poison just everyone if you're the servant or something.
Indeed.
oh yeah, you can be like the richest tavern servant with acres and acres of ground to for your vineyards and your cornfields and whatnot.
What like
vineyards and vineyards and cornfields and rock and roll, whatever. No, but that's where clinking comes from. Because for me, it's also still it's a ritual. You
Mm.
get you call a friend. Hey, you want to go grab a drink? Yes, you know what you're gonna do. There is a place where they have these handles that they pull. There's this yellow foamy substance that is just slowly filling up a glass, leaving quite a lot of head. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. And then it's just
Oh.
and then you sit down by a slightly raised table where you can lean your elbow on. And the moment you sit down and you take your glass, you always breathe out. You never breathe in. You never do like this.
You
You always do.
Yep.
It's a sign. It's so ingrained in our culture. And
Yeah.
then you go cheers, and you always drink your first sip together, and it's always very quiet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's all
Like a
la,
moment
la,
of
la, la,
quiet.
la. No, 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 no,
Yeah, exactly.
That's how
Yeah,
that goes.
true. Okay, well, we're reaching the end here. I'd say for time, for the stream. So I'm gonna ask you both a very abstract question because I had something, but I didn't write it down because I was like I can remember this. Obviously couldn't. Never can. Um, so if you had to look at yourself, like really truly look at yourself, and then look at the different alcohols of the world, drinks, liquors, whatever, any kind of alcohol, which one would you say that best defines you?
Hmm.
That's a deep question, isn't it? We could also just do an online questionnaire if you'd rather like that.
No, 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 no.
No,
Just,
it's fun.
dude, let me
Like,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but that's the thing. Like you need to think and that. Yeah. But if you don't want to think, we can do that instead. But if you want to think about it, cool. Let's do it. Let's have a
I
moment of
won't.
silence to think.
Yeah.
No, I won't. I won't take long. I think I'll go first. I think I'm just an average local brewed fresh beer. I can come in a glass or in a bottle. I think the thing is, I go well on a garden party, uh, and after a hard day's work, I'm there if you need me. No,
Right, right.
I think I would just be a simple beer.
Like a
Yeah,
pills.
yeah,
Good old pills. Yeah.
yeah. I'm a pills.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. And how about you, Toby?
Hmm. I'm kind of leaning two ways on this.
Okay.
So I think like an alcohol-free beer, maybe. Because like
Yeah.
You're the most useless thing in the last 2 centuries.
exactly. And
But
not even kidding. That is part of it. I think that says a lot about my self-worth.
I mean, yeah. I guess, yeah.
But yeah, also I'm a bit of an acquired taste, and I, have some
like that.
controversial or like non-mainstream opinions.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am a beer. Like I'm pretty basic.
Mm.
to
Mm.
Oh,
people
the
who are
next
like-minded.
stream you got to talk about controversial opinions. I would
Mhm.
love to hear those because
Ooh.
yeah.
I think we're gonna stay clear of that because of reasons because we've already talked about some stuff with.
All right,
Well,
fine. But you would also say an alcohol-free beer. Actually, I did not see
I
that
can see
coming.
that. I didn't see it coming either, but now that you're saying it, you explaining it, I can see where you're coming from, and I think it's a beautiful explanation. Honestly, it's very
Mm.
artistic of you to choose that. And it's very, 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 very nice.
Yeah, I can
I
appreciate
say,
it
well
as
done,
well.
well done.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
You nailed it. No, really, it's good.
Yeah. Didn't nail
Myself,
life, but nailed that.
I- myself, I would say I'm a bit of a Guinness. First of all,
Boo.
little yeah, exactly. There you go. The thing is, it's a beer. Anyone can
You're
drink a
big.
beer.
You're
If you
big
really
and
need to, you
blanched.
will drink me. I'm not for everyone though at all, and I'm a little dark. I can be a little bit dark sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see
exactly.
that.
And I'm mainly, Celtic in nature.
You're a gay liquor.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. So I'd say that finish it just about. Yeah, I still remember like two times ago, like we had some sort of idea that we were gonna do something to finish it off. Can't even remember what it was anymore. Doesn't matter. Fiction, it's been a pleasure having you here. I don't know if you're gonna leave after this, if you're gonna stay
Absolutely.
chatting for a bit.
I'm actually playing a video game right now, so I might as well stick around.
Okay.
So glad
Cool.
to have you with us.
Yeah. Clearly very important to you this.
No, the thing is, like, I can multitask. It's fine.
Yeah,
Actually,
sure you can.
hey,
Just like women.
thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for having me on this stream. Actually, I really had a good time. Again,
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
as
That's the
always.
thing. As always. Uh, aye.
Right. So
And
we should probably just sign off, right? And then
something like that. Do you have
thank-
anything else you need to talk about with the Oh, I had one thing I wanted to mention.
yeah, go ahead.
About the Pharoes Crypt. I said last time that I was hoping to like start editing and like have it out real quick and blah 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 blah. I've just been swamped
Yeah,
with all
yeah,
this moving to Scotland and stuff. And I doubt it's gonna get any better until I move there. So I'm probably just gonna be live until then. If I ever find the time, I will probably edit the first episode we did.
yeah. But I mean,
But
it's
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 very
also
unlikely.
gonna. I mean, it's gonna continue being live afterwards.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
that there'll be no changes. It's
No,
just
no,
at
exactly.
some point probably you'll be able to find us on Spotify maybe or
Yeah,
iTunes stuff like that.
yeah. Your podcatcher of choice. That's it.
Your podcatcher. Oh,
That's the thing. Podcatcher of choice.
that's really great.
Uh,
I like that.
yeah, it is a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. And we'll see y'all next week.
Aye, definitely.
Bye.
See you then. Have a good night.
Peace talk.